And welcome to the 330 Sports Show. My name is Justin Coffin, and today is Thursday, May 20th, 2021. We are broadcasting live from downtown Youngstown, Ohio, and we're produced by Joe Danier and the Youngstown Studio Network. You have a chance, as always, to win cash from our lockbox here. We do have phone lines open right now, and they're going to be open pretty much the whole first half of the show. $900 in cash is in this box, and AirPod Pros. So phone lines, again, are open now. 330-595-1600. 330-595-1600. So what we're going to talk about on the show today, we have a bunch of different topics we're going to get into. Second half, I have a Zoom call recorded, which I'm telling you, you have to stay and watch that because me and a few friends, we got into, like I said, I don't want to just stick to just sports on this show. We get into the entertainment aspect and obviously have great guests and things like that. But we have an awesome segment that we've never done before. It's going to be all 80s movies quotes with a little bit of a twist. The only thing I will say, you might have to use some earmuffs if there's younger ears on screen. But other than that, it's hilarious, and I think you'll have some good fun with that. As always, if you'd like to support the show, you can do it many ways. You can watch live or on demand. If you follow us at the 330 Sports Show on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. You can follow Youngstown Studio as well. Their YouTube page is very helpful. Something else that we would love for our listeners to do, subscribe to whatever podcast platform you listen to, whether it's iTunes, Spotify, iHeart, whatever it might be. Subscribe, rate the show, what you think. Leave a comment. It always helps us grow our audience. And we get roughly 20,000 some people per week that are watching our shows. So you can also advertise on our platform. If you would like to do that, reach out to us, and we'll be happy to help you on that end. So on today's show, like I said, we have lots of different topics we're going to get into. I do want to give you a little heads up on next Tuesday's show. We have, you guys know, I love to feature a lot of our news personalities around the area. Next Tuesday, we're going to feature probably the most veteran of those newscasters around our area. That's going to be Stan Boney. Stan has been with WYTV and now with WKBN for over 40 years, was a sports guy. I kind of grew up knowing him as the weather guy around Youngstown, and now he is a veteran news anchor on the 11 o'clock and sometimes does some of the 6 o'clock broadcasts with WKBN. So looking forward to having Stan on the show next week. I have a feeling we're going to get a lot of really good stories from him. And so if you have any questions ahead of time for Stan, feel free to write in on the show on our YouTube, or I'm sorry, on our social media platforms, and you can kind of get those questions out ahead of time. I'll also put some things out there. Feel free to ask questions. So again, it's going to be a throwback Thursday show. We're going to get into the 80s movies and some famous quotes in there, and play a little game with that towards the end of the show. But first, let's get with what's trending in the sports world.
I think you have a call, by the way.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. I didn't.
No, I didn't even look. So let's see who is on the line. Caller, are you there? Caller, can you hear me? I can't hear anything. Let me try one more time. Caller, are you there?
Hello?
Okay, there we go. Hi, who's this? Well, hey, I'm going to tell you what, caller, will you just call back in and we'll try to get whatever either on your end or my end. So try to call back in and we'll take care of you then. So until then, we'll go to our NBA stuff. Oh, and I think he's calling back now.
Hold on, don't take it right away. I'm
Okay.
Connected.
Okay. All right. So anyway, we're gonna get into the NBA stuff here in a minute with the play-in tournament that's going on. So in the Eastern Conference, which is all said and done, we had the 9-10 game, which was the Pacers over the Hornets, 144 to 117. The Pacers will now play the Wizards, who lost to the Celtics in the 7-8 game. So Boston is going to be the 7 seed in the East, and then whoever wins the Pacers-Wizards game will be the 8th seed in the East. I'm sorry. And then in the West, last night we had Memphis defeating San Antonio 100-97. They will now take on the Golden State Warriors, who lost to the Los Angeles Lakers 103-100. So the Los Angeles Lakers will be the 7th seed, and the winner of the Memphis Grizzlies and the Golden State Warriors will be the 8th seed. So we will check in on that in a minute. I don't know if that caller's up, but Joe, if you don't mind, can you put up that the graphic of the NBA playoff bracket? I'm going to show you that on screen here in a second. So here's what the playoffs are going to look like. It's going to be the Utah Jazz in the West taking on the winner of Golden State and Memphis, the 1-8 matchup. It's going to be the Los Angeles Clippers versus the Dallas Mavericks. We're going to have the Denver Nuggets taking on, this should be a great series, Denver and Portland in the 3-6 matchup. And then, as I said earlier, the Lakers defeated Golden State last night to hold on to the 7th seed. So the Lakers are going to go against the Phoenix Suns, who are the 2 seeds. So that's what it looks like out west. In the East, the 76ers locked up the number 1 seed. They're going to be taking on the winner of the Indiana Pacers and Washington Wizards in the 1-8 matchup. The 4-5 matchup should be an interesting one. I cannot believe the Atlanta Hawks are the 4 seed, but the Atlanta Hawks and the New York Knicks will be matching up in the 4-5 seed matchup. The Milwaukee Bucks, the 3 seed, will be taking on the Miami Heat in the 3-6 series, and then the Brooklyn Nets will be taking on the Boston Celtics in the 2-7 matchup. So that should be really interesting. There's a lot of really good series. I like the Clippers and Mavs series. I like the Denver and Portland series, and I even like the Lakers and the Phoenix series. I think that series is really going to come down to just which team's playing better at the right time. So we'll see on that. Do we want to try this caller again?
Is he there? Yeah, go ahead.
Well, maybe not. It says call back. It doesn't.
Yeah, he might be gone. Yeah, but caller, you can call back now. I'm pretty sure that I got audio going again.
Okay. All right. Yeah, caller, if you're there, just feel free to call us back. So that's a look at the NBA playoffs. We still have those play-in games to determine who the 8th seed is. So we will see how that goes.
Yeah, and that's 330-595-1600 if I didn't. Yeah.
So 330-595-1600. Again, you got a chance to win the $900 in AirPod Pros. So I think third time's the charm. You want to try this?
Yes.
All right. Caller, sorry about that. Are you there?
Yeah.
There we go. All right. Who's this?
This is Dave.
Dave. Okay. Dave, are you the Yankees fan?
How about that Corey Kluber?
I know. I was. That's my next story I was going to talk about last night with the no-hitter. So, obviously we all know Corey Kluber from the Indians and, had a tough year last year with injuries, but, picking up, from a former Cy Young winner. So pretty awesome against his former team, technically, with the Rangers too last night. So pretty great.
Good stuff.
Absolutely. So, Dave, you want to take a shot at the lockbox here?
Sure. 125.
125. That's another number off the board, though. Dave, again, appreciate you calling in, and try again Try again next week, and next week, if no one wins this week, we're gonna have $1,000 in there. So appreciate you calling in, Dave. Good luck to your Yankees, except when they're playing the Tribe. All right, so Dave pointed that out for me already, but Corey Kluber last night for the New York Yankees, obviously former 2-time Cy Young Award winner for the Indians. Last year, the Indians traded him before the season started for Emmanuel Clase, who has been phenomenal for the Indians so far. Corey Kluber last year pitched 1 inning for the Texas Rangers before he got hurt and then became a free agent, obviously signed with the Yankees. But last night, he was the 6th pitcher already this season to throw a no-hitter in the majors. So that makes back-to-back nights of no-hitters in the major leagues. And like I said, the 6th this season in only 42 days of actually playing. So we're averaging 1 no-hitter per week, which is pretty crazy. And why is this? I have a lot of reasons. Pitchers are throwing harder than ever. They're way better than ever. Looking at trends in batting average and things, hitters seem to be worse than ever. At least, and that could be twofold. Maybe the pitching's so good, maybe the batting's not as good. But hitting is just, I don't know. The batting average is so low this year, and they're on a record pace for. And that could be a lot of different reasons.
I can draw a chart for you.
Yeah.
Steroid use and not being able to hit the ball. I bet you they're parallel.
And that probably could be it. Like we had mentioned too. The home runs are up, the strikeouts are up, and the batting average is way down. So it's like when they're connecting. But like you said, that could be definitely could be a factor. But baseball, this is a crazy stat too. Baseball is only 2 no-hitters away from tying the single season record, which was set in 1884. So we're, what is today? May 20th. So we have 6 already this season. Technically, we have had 7. So last night we've had Corey Kluber. Spencer Turnbull did it 2 nights ago for the Detroit Tigers against the Seattle Mariners. Listen to this too. Seattle's batting average as a team is 199 as a team. So, that's basically a 200 average. So 1 out of every 5 trips to the plate, they're getting a hit, which, is not ideal for a team. Like the Indians, we always want to, pick on them and, say they're not hitting the ball, but they're still way ahead of the Mariners. Joe Musgrove did it. He had the first one earlier this season for the San Diego Padres on April 9th. He also no-hit the Texas Rangers. Carlos Rondon no-hit the Indians on April 14th for the White Sox. John Means no-hit the Seattle Mariners. So you can kind of see a trend. Seattle has been no-hit twice. The Indians have been no-hit twice with Wade Miley no-hitting them as well for the Cincinnati Reds. That was May 8th. So Cincinnati, Texas, and the Indians seem to be not hitting the ball as well. Now, I was curious why they didn't classify. His name is Madison Bumgarner. He threw a no-hitter. Technically threw a no-hitter, a 7-inning no-hitter against this. The Atlanta Braves on April 25th. So looking back, the major leagues created this asterisk, if you will. So they reference a 7-inning no-hitter now as a notable achievement. So it goes into the record books as a notable achievement based on a 1991 rule. I had just learned this morning. I'd never heard about it.
Watched your whole baseball your whole life.
Exactly.
And the rule sneaks out.
Well, and the reason they did this, apparently there was some sort of no-hitter or close to a no-hitter. And then, if you play a certain amount of innings, a certain amount of at-bats, that's the end of the game. So, they wanted to classify that rule. So if a game had been played 7 innings or more, and there was a no-hitter and then the rain canceled the rest of the game. That's apparently why they did that. So,
Okay.
so I thought that was interesting. A couple more interesting stats here. Teams were averaging 7.82 hits per game through May 19th, which is the second lowest mark in baseball history, behind only 1908, and we're striking out a record 8.98 times a game. So basically 9 times a game, which is 1 per inning. So as a result, batters, this is as of yesterday, we're hitting 236, and scoring obviously is way down this season. Now they changed the ball a little bit last year, because last year the home runs were at a record pace and they wanted that to come down a little bit. But Major League Baseball might be a little catch-22 there, where they didn't want this, but now something else is happening, to counter that. So just some interesting notes there. In the world of golf, we're going to switch now to that. This weekend is the PGA Championship. It's in Kiowa Island, which is pretty close to Charleston, South Carolina. Rory McIlroy is the favorite. And then we have John Rahm, Justin Thomas, Dustin Johnson, and Jordan Spieth are the top 5. That teed off this morning. So, our next show, we'll let you know who comes out on top with that. In the boxing world, we had Kelly Pavlick on the show way back in October, and he now is going to be inducted into the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame. So congratulations to Kelly Pavlick, obviously right here from Youngstown, Ohio, and some of his, best boxing matches were held right there in Atlantic City, including his championship bouts. Now, Joe, I'm ready. I want to get into, before we get into our Zoom call here in a little bit, I want to get into some just miscellaneous news that I read. So
it's my favorite part about your show, by the way, when you throw these curveballs.
Oh, yeah, this is. I read this and I'm like, what, we're gonna talk about this. So the first one, I don't know. The first one's a little crazy, but sometimes the craziest stuff is the most interesting. Right. So, do you know what a UAP is?
UAP. No.
Yes. Okay. So, on 60 Minutes, I didn't see the show, but 60 Minutes basically confirmed that UAPs, commonly known as UFOs, are real. Okay. So that doesn't mean there's aliens. That doesn't mean there's this or that. It just means UAP stands for Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon. So this is according to 60 Minutes and our United States government, which is even crazier. So the government basically said UFOs are very real. They're very real, but they remain unidentified. So again, we don't know what it is, but if our own government doesn't know what the hell it is, then that's more of a mystery than anything,
right?
Because they're catching these crafts or whatever it might be, aerial phenomenon on tape, and they can't explain the propulsion, they can't explain the movement and different things like that. So our own United States Senate and security has ordered for a report to be delivered by next month, because they're like, we got to get to the bottom of this. Is it other, countries, technology? This goes back way into the 40s and 50s. Are the Russians spying on us? Are the Chinese spying on us? Whatever it might be. So, what are your thoughts on this? And
you're gonna make me flex my crazy bones.
Yeah,
right?
no, it's fine. It's fine. We don't usually delve into this type topic, so might as well throw a curveball and see what you think.
I love space. I love physics, and my appreciation for the vastness is what is space.
Right,
it's off the charts. But I have a little bit different perspective. Like, I don't buy into stuff that we can't prove, because I'm really science oriented. So what I'm saying is just a theory of that makes the most sense to me. It's very unlikely that the vastness of that only holds like one little sliver of life. So yes, if someone were to suggest there's probably something out there, I'm totally with it.
Right.
But the evidence that we have of what we've seen, I have a little bit of a different take. I think nature delivers a whole lot of differences in scale.
Okay.
And because your perspective, you're a certain size and you go a certain speed, anything that's bigger than you don't understand, and anything smaller than you don't understand, and things that are faster and slower than you don't understand. So if you take it from like a perspective of an ant, and then you start looking like, what does your backyard look like from the perspective of an ant? They might have never in their lifetime of 30 days run into a human being. And if they did, like, what would they think?
Right.
Or a crumb that flies in there, like what would that be to that perspective? So if you think there might be things bigger than us, they might, their life might be like overlapping with ours, and it creates phenomenons between it.
Okay.
Oh, that's a little crazy. I know how that sounds, but
I'm in very similar belief of, you can't even quantify how large our universe is, and the expansion, just even our own galaxy or solar system, if you want to put it that way. And I am not smart enough to understand just how it forever is reaching.
Let me give you scale. And I want
Sure.
okay, so we sent out, so that basically Mars is our favorite planet because we can actually get there with going 50,000 kilometers per hour, right?
Okay.
We can get there in 7 months, okay? So a 7th month trip, it's sort of like perspective when, the first people came to the United States, that got in the horse and buggy and they went across. It took them months and months and months to get to California, right?
Sure.
But now the furthest reaches, we sent out a satellite to document the furthest planets. It took 45 years to get to the edge of our solar system.
Wow.
So 7 months to get to Mars. And then when we look at the diagram of our solar system, we're like, well, Mars and Pluto, they're pretty close on there. But we're talking 7 months at the closest, right? And 45 years to the furthest. Now, that's just our solar system. There are millions and trillions of solar systems that are like that. So the vastness just blows your mind.
It's crazy. And they, when you hear scientists say there's something like, for every grain of sand on planet Earth, there's a solar system equal to that. Like, that's just absolutely mind-blowing.
That's a lot.
So to me, to think, like you had said earlier, like, do I necessarily believe in aliens? Not necessarily, but there has to be other life out there based, I think it's kind of small-minded of us for us to say, no, we're the only, that's a little bit, not conceited, but like a little, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but it's a little like short-sighted maybe to say, we're the only intelligent beings out there,
On our grain of sand, right?
On our grain
we're the
of
only
sand.
life
Exactly.
Out there. It's
So
more likely there is than likely that there's not. Is how I see it.
That's a perfect way of saying it. And I've heard, who's the famous scientist with the in the wheelchair had ALS. He basically put it like that, and his name is escaping me right now, but he basically said, there is like way more of a chance of life out there than not. Right. So who knows?
And honestly, I think they're natural filters so that maybe we're not supposed to like come into contact. Like
sure.
Really, there's the differences in space that even we travel a lifetime, we'd never get to where they are.
That's a good point. Yeah. So I don't know. Remains to be seen. I'd like to hear other people's thoughts on that. Stephen Hawking. Yes. Very good. Okay. And then second part of miscellaneous news. Yesterday was not a good day for the cryptocurrency market. So if you follow cryptocurrency, Bitcoin's the big one. That got as high as, you would know this number better than me, but it was up in the upper 50s, I believe.
Yeah, almost touching 60 every once in a while.
And then it dropped below 40 yesterday, so it lost roughly two-thirds or a third of its value. Now it's back, I think, today above the 42,000 mark. But explain a little bit now. There's the whole Dogecoin thing, which started out kind of as a joke, and I think still kind of is. But there's some actual, like, legit money people are making behind this. So can you explain that to maybe people out there that might be interested in that?
Okay, so every time that we either get a bubble or a bust in this thing, I get phone calls to explain how this frickin' works. And legitimate investors won't go anywhere near it because it's such a, it's such a high risk, high volatility type of thing. And the way that people are trading it and using it are creating these huge fluctuations in these busts and bubbles.
Okay.
But the way I have a spreadsheet that I made about 10 years ago.
Sure.
And it plots the value that it has to be to exist.
Okay.
So it has to be at this level or it's going to go to zero, because the whole function of this thing is decentralized. So it's split up amongst millions of different people who host the network.
Okay.
In order for them to say, yes, I'm going to host the network, it has to be of a value they can afford to host the network. Right. And so how this happens is there's only so many Bitcoins that will ever be produced.
Sure. Right.
And in the beginning, they released a bunch of them, and every
and they
couple
call
of
it
years,
mining, don't they?
Yes.
And then after you're done explaining that point, I'm going to have you explain what that means.
Absolutely. So the people who host this network, they get rewards, and every couple years, the rewards they get splits in half.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And the people who do this, they take the rewards and they pay their electric bill and they pay their employees and they pay all these expenses.
Okay.
Right? So it has to be at a certain level, or they drop out and stop doing it and the network goes away.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason my spreadsheet has plotted out where I know what the cost of the network is, and every time, like let's just say it's $200 is what the value is.
Okay.
And then they do a halving of the reward system. Well, they just took half of the reward from the people who host it.
Sure.
So the value has to double from 200. So I took the early on number and I took every 2 years what it has to do to keep the network afloat. And it goes from $28 to like $1 million a coin. And every 2 years an increment along that. And right now we should be at about the $18,000 level going into the $36,000 level.
Okay.
So when it gets to the point where it's going to have again, it starts making it the next value leap up to 36. So that's why you're kind of seeing if we're at 50, we're too high. And if we're at 18, we're too low. We should probably be around 26 according to my sheet. I've not had to alter my sheet since day one.
Okay.
And it's followed that pattern to this day.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So that's that part.
So explain the mining part. Now, I heard, there's obviously a finite amount of coin that they can produce. So I don't know what that number is, but I've heard that the last Bitcoin will not be finally mined until like 2147.
Correct. And I'll show you this chart. I'll bring it up on the screen. And this is what miners use to predict their stuff. So Bitcoin,
So anyone out there that's interested in this, take notes, because Joe, at least for me, is the foremost expert in how this works. I don't know. I stay away from Bitcoin, but it is intriguing to me. And I love to hear about interesting stuff like this. So Joe is the go-to guy if you have any questions on the Bitcoin stuff.
Okay, so I'm trying to find the halving chart, and so it's a very predictable thing. And you're right. There's a couple, there's only a finite amount that they're ever going to release, and if it survives, and that's really where the people who do this professionally, it could go to zero. There's nothing stopping it from not going to zero.
Sure.
So it totally could. Do I think it'll go to zero? Probably not at this point. There's too much money in it and too many people that are involved in it.
And it's basically just the belief in it, right?
Yeah, really.
That's holding its value.
Right.
Okay.
And like in the United States, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But think if you lived in like Iran, right? And you didn't know whether or not your money's going to get confiscated from the government. So if you had the ability to, if things got tight or there was a war that broke out or the government did something, that you could just take whatever money you had and stow it in Bitcoin that nobody can control. Right. And you're fleeing and you're going to a different country. You stow it into Bitcoin. When you get to the other place, you pull it back out.
Okay.
Nobody can take it from you. They can't seize it. It's, so the rest of the world sees a value in a system like that as an alternative to some centralized banking. Here, our banking is pretty solid. So we're like, well, the bank can do that and for cheaper and more secure and more accessible. So it doesn't make quite as much sense here.
Okay. All right. It's always so interesting. And, it's nothing like tangible you hold. So for a lot of people, that's kind of crazy.
Quick enough.
That's
anyway,
all right.
So really, I have these machines in back, and all their job is to do is take these Bitcoin transactions. I hook them into power. I put them on the internet, and then transactions from Bitcoin flow through those machines.
Okay.
They process all those transactions. So I pool my machines with hundreds of thousands of other people. And then when one of our machines solves one of these reward blocks, they give us some Bitcoin. And then all the people that are in that pool, we get a share of whatever was halved. And I think ours is like maybe every 4 hours, our pool would discover a Bitcoin and it would get distributed. So we got quite a bit of Bitcoin from just doing the mining process. But again, these are real people who have to pay real expenses. Like each one of those machines costs like almost $1,000, right? And then they used 800 watts of electricity. So my electric bill is like $1,000 a month when I was running these things. So when I got the reward money, I had to go out and sell them to pay all of my bills to keep doing the mining process.
Interesting. Okay. I mean, it's still like, the more I learn, the more questions I have, and the more confused I feel.
I'm gonna fix that. No, let's fix that. Let's talk it through. So what's the part? So the abstractness of it?
The abstractness, and yeah,
here's where the value comes in.
Sure.
Nobody controls, like if you have an account at a bank, like the bank controls your master database.
Sure.
Right?
Right.
So they can go in and change things.
Okay.
Bitcoin, nobody has access to change things. So how does that work? Everybody who has one of those miners back there, we have a copy of the transaction log. So think of the log as like a check register.
Okay.
So Bob sent 1 coin to Charlie.
Is your name associated with
No,
that?
just a random address. So it's address. You control a bunch of addresses. So my wallet had 10,000 addresses that I owned, and there was value in each one of those, and my wallet just added up all of those values that I collected or were sent to me.
Okay.
All right. So the thing is, now I have a copy that Joe sent some money to Bob, and then in that official register, that gives Bob the value. But everybody in the network has a copy of that same log.
Okay.
Right?
Sure.
And it works on a system where it has 10 minutes to have total agreement that transaction happened.
Okay.
So I can falsify my log, but nobody else in the system is going to have the same copy that I do, and it's going to get kicked out of there.
Okay.
I would have to compromise 51% of all the logs out there in order to make a change that makes a fictitious change. So it's the most secure method of that sort of like register comparison process.
Okay.
Does that make a little bit more?
I mean, sort of.
Damn it, I tried.
I
tried.
It's something I understand what you're saying. It's a ledger, sort of.
Yes.
And, I can kind of get behind that. To me, it's going to take me a while to fully comprehend the whole
What
system.
I will agree with most people is it's not a currency. It's a transportation vehicle.
Okay.
100%. If you call it a coin, it's really not.
Right.
Right? It holds value of something in it, and you could put votes in it. Like if Joe Danier voted for whatever.
Sure.
Under the same premise that I pay him $1 and then it's secure entered into the transaction log. Would be the same thing.
Okay. Now let me ask you about Dogecoin.
Yeah.
So Dogecoin, and we were talking a little bit before the show. So if you bought 1 Dogecoin on May 4th, 2016, it would have costed $0 and 0.0000227 back then. Dogecoin was used to tip people small amounts on social networks because it had such a tiny value. Today, that same coin at the base. This is as of May 4th, would be worth 54 cents. So that has gone up an increase of 237,000%.
Yeah.
So if you bought, just to put that in comparison, if you bought $10 5 years ago, that would be worth roughly $23,800 now. So that shows you the incremental, exponential. I think that's probably the best word to use it there. So what's your thoughts on Dogecoin and all that?
It started as a joke, and it got coupled to an internet meme. And people did it for the sake of ha ha ha, right?
Sure, right.
So we could take the coin or the crypto module, and we can create Justin Coin today.
Okay.
And if we can get anybody to be like, ha ha ha, let's do Justin Coin,
right.
You could do the same thing.
There's probably enough stupid pictures you could meme out there of me.
But it's more marketing than it is whatever.
Yeah.
If we can get enough people to just do it, and then like other people start doing it because they're doing it, every once in a while you've got 1 million people doing something silly and stupid, and it's like, oh, we added value, but how did it come to be?
Sure.
A freaking meme, So that's a strange one to me. Yeah, you can make money on it when you have this kind of like, I don't know. It's the same thing with happened with Robinhood. I mean, Reddit did something only by the sheer will of a massive group of people.
Yeah.
So you can do anything if you get enough people behind it.
Okay. Interesting. So if anyone out there, for next week or going into the future has any questions on the Bitcoin or on just the cryptocurrency in general, write us, because we could do probably a whole show on just that. And I might not be the best person to host it, but I would be a good person to ask questions on it. And you maybe should host that one.
Okay.
So,
right.
So we'll think about that one going into the future.
The variety show.
Yeah.
So we might be talking about pictures, or we might be talking about Bitcoin.
Yeah. So on this show alone, we've talked about no hitters. We've talked about the NBA playoffs. We've talked about Pavlick going into the Hall of Fame in Atlantic City. We've talked about UFOs. We've talked about Bitcoin. And now we're going to throw it over to a Zoom call that is totally 80s quotes. And by the way, like this hat, this lighting with my hat, looks like I got punched in the face with a couple black eyes here. But with this, I'm going to tell you right now, this Zoom call is hilarious. It's a blast. We had a good time. It's about 30 minutes long or so. But couple buddies and I got together on a Zoom call. And I said, you know what? I saw this on social media. We're going to do it. We're going to play a little game with it. So we took as many 80s quotes as we could think of. The movies, there was only 2 rules. 1, it had to be from an 80s movie. And 2, you'll hear on the video what rule number 2 is. The only thing I will say is that if there's any youngsters around, you might want to earmuff them. But besides that, it's a great entertainment. I think you're going to have fun with it. So go ahead and take a listen to that. Okay, hey guys, Justin Coffin here. We are going to do a kind of a different segment. Obviously this is a sports show, but you guys know we sort of dive into the entertainment movie world. So we're going to do that today. And as you can probably see behind me, I have the 80s and Brett has a background with a ton of 80s movies. So today's segment is going to be 80s quotes, and there's only 2 rules. 1, it's got to be a quote from an 80s movie, any kind of movie. It could be sports or anything, and 2, afterwards, and I saw this on Facebook, and I'm going to give a shout out to Shayna Yardis because she's the one I saw this from. So, I'm going to borrow it from her. But the other rule is, besides being an 80s movie, you have to say at the end of the quote, "You piece of shit." So we're just going to have fun with this. See how far we take it. I'm sure it's going to get a little ridiculous and crazy, but we're just gonna have fun with it. So our order, we're just going to do this like a batting order. So I'm going to go first. Brett will go second. Edgar will go third. Greg will go fourth, and then back to me, and we'll just circle around, and we'll see how many we get to. Maybe we'll get far. Maybe we'll get like 10 in. I don't know. So we'll see. All right. So I'm going to start, and first one I'm going to go with, I mean, there are so many. I literally have like 100 written down, and that's just probably scratching the surface. But the one I'm going to go with, I have it. I'm actually looking for it here, but I'm just going to go with this one, Franklin. I'm going to probably steal this one from you eventually, but I'm going to go with yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
I would have used that.
Flows right in.
I would have used that for sure, without a doubt.
You don't have to quote if we don't know the line. We'll kind of work that in. But that's obviously Die Hard 1989, John McClane's character. So Franklin, we're going to you.
I'm going with a very classic, and one I recently just watched just for the hell of it. We're going to Ghostbusters. Peter Venkman, Bill Murray. Back off, man. I'm a scientist. You piece of shit.
Edgar, you.
All right, I'm gonna go with a classic 1980s movie, Back to the Future. Next Saturday night, I'm sending you back to the future.
Oh, I love it. All right, Greg, you're up.
All right. Well, I guess I will use a very famous line that I think I'm going to use on my kids the next time they mouth off to me. I am your father, you piece of shit.
Maybe I should have gone with that first.
All right. Well, back to me. This is probably, I could watch this line a million times and not get sick of this. You got to bear with me because it's kind of a long quote here. But I'm just going to say it's from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Steve Martin. You can start by wiping that
effing dumbass smile off your rosy effing cheeks. And you can give me an effing automobile, an effing Datsun, an effing Toyota, an effing Mustang, an effing Buick, 4 effing wheels and a seat, you piece of shit.
Oh, that's so good.
It's funny without even saying it. You piece of shit's really implied in that whole entire thing.
It is. And then her line back, you could pretty much add it to that one too.
Oh man. Well, I dropped mine were full of F-bombs, my first 2. So Brett, to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over to Batman, Joker. You wouldn't hit a guy with glasses, would you? You piece of shit.
So good.
Well, I'm gonna go with the same movie, Franklin, and I'm gonna go with the Joker again. Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? You piece of shit.
Oh, I love how Edgar gets into character too.
Yeah, he does. It's great, and he stole another one.
Whenever you're ready.
All right. Well, I'll go to this. I feel kind of dirty doing this one, but I'll go Field of Dreams with the daddy issues version of Field of Dreams. Hey, Dad, want to have a catch? You piece of shit.
Love it. All right. Well, I'm going. Next one for me. This is one of probably the most famous movies to come out of the 80s. But I'm going with Patrick Swayze's line. Nobody puts baby in the corner, you piece of shit. Brett,
yeah, I'm gonna go over to Breakfast Club. John Bender. Does Barry Manilow know you raid his wardrobe? You piece of shit.
That's a good one.
Love it.
All right, I'm gonna go with the Beverly Hills Cop. Did you fall for the banana in the tailpipe? You piece of shit.
Love it. Greg, to you.
I'll stick with the baseball movies. I'm going to go to The Natural. Roy Hobbs after he breaks Wonder Boy. Go pick me out a winner, Bobby. You piece of shit.
Oh, love it. I'm going to go with another classic here. 1982. E.T. Phone Home. You piece of shit.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
All right, I'm going over to Beverly Hills Cop. Before I go, I just want you to know something, all right? The Super Cop story was working, okay? It was working, and you guys just messed it up, okay? You pieces of shit.
I like
how to make it plural.
I like that. Yeah, I like how you changed it. It's just a little grammar issue there. I love it. Edgar, go ahead.
I'm gonna go with Clark W. Griswold.
Nice.
Hey, Shitter's full, you piece of shit.
On you, Greg.
It is me. Okay, I'm not gonna sing this, unfortunately, but I'm gonna go with the first musical number of the day from Grease. You better shape up because I need a man, and my heart is set on you, you piece of shit.
Love it. I love it. I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
Nice one.
Shit.
Nice one.
By the way, I thought that was a 70s movie. That movie came out in 1980. So.
All right. I'm going back to Breakfast Club, back to John Bender. I'm trying out for a scholarship, you piece of shit.
I'm going to go with the movie The Burbs.
Nice.
Hans Christian Andersen. What a fine Christian name, you piece of shit.
Most underrated movie of all time, in my opinion. Right.
Yeah.
Love it.
Dead Poet Society. Carpe diem, boys. Seize the day. Make your lives extraordinary, you pieces of shit.
All right. Say hello to my little friend, you piece of shit.
Save the neck for me, Clark, you piece of shit.
Nice. Well done. Well done.
I'll be back, you piece of shit.
Oh, God, I love it.
I feel the need for speed, you piece of shit.
Oh, man. All right. I'm going to go back to, oh, man. I'm going to go back to Christmas Vacation where Franklin started. And I'm going to drop two of them here. And why is the carpet all wet, Todd, you piece of shit? I don't know, Margot, you piece of shit. A little 2-for-1 special there.
Hold on, I'm just trying to. I want to narrow this one down. Oh, there it is. We're staying in this world of Christmas Vacation.
Okay.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm in the middle of an important call. Get me somebody, anybody, you piece of shit.
Is that Frank Shirley?
Yep.
Nice. Edgar?
Hey, yo, bartender, Joe Boo needs a refill. Yet.
Love it.
Oh boy. Am I the first one to I'm the first one to fall on my face. Okay, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it, you piece of shit. Ferris Bueller.
Nice. Nice. You know what, guys? If I wanted a joke, I'd follow you into John and watch it. Take a leak, you piece of shit.
Oh, yeah.
So damn good. So good. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Nice.
Proceeds then to get knocked out.
I'm gonna go over to an '80s movie I love, and you don't hear enough about it. Weird Science.
Yes.
So, what would you little maniacs like to do first, you pieces of shit?
I love it. So good.
All right, so I don't know if this is an 80s movie,
Uh-oh. Go
but
ahead.
I'm just going to say,
What's-
Luke, I am your father.
Oh,
You shit.
we got strike one. Greg already.
Strike one. Greg said that right off the
man.
gate.
And
Oh, man, what?
And he doesn't say, Luke, I am
Yes.
your father.
That's
Oh.
the most misquoted movie line, I think, in history, right? You piece of shit.
That and Hello, Clarice.
Yes. What
Yeah.
does he say in that one?
He says good evening. He never actually says hello, Clarice.
Oh,
He just says that people have just kind of made that into a line.
Okay. Well, Edgar, we'll you want another one, or you want us to move on and come back for
Oh.
more?
I'll do another one.
All right.
Shit! I've been cut already? You piece of shit.
I like how you start with shit and end with shit there. Nice job.
All right, Rocky 4. Throw in the damn towel, you piece of shit.
All right. I'm gonna go with the one that was the meme for this, and kind of the inspiration behind this one. It was Mr. Miyagi in The Karate Kid. Wax on, wax off, you piece of shit.
Oh, yeah, Greg, I'm with you. I kind of hit it here too.
He's got to hit a wall.
Yeah.
Well, I got about 70 more if you need some.
No, I think I got one. I'm going to go with this one, and I feel it's going to open up a broader, more of these coming out with this movie. A person should not believe in an ism. He should believe in himself. You piece of shit.
Ferris Bueller.
Yep.
I'm gonna stay with the Karate Kid, Justin, and I'm gonna be like, sweep the legs. You got a problem with that? You piece of shit.
I love the anger in your voice when you say that. So good. So good.
I'm trying to find a good Caddyshack quote. Don't sell yourself short, Judge. You're a tremendous slouch, you piece of shit. Caddyshack. Ty Webb.
All right. Oh yeah, to me, I should probably pay attention here. All right. I'm gonna go with kind of not a funny one here, but kind of a classic one. This is Gordon Gekko in Wall Street. Greed, for lack of a better word, is good. You piece of shit.
I'm surprised. I don't think anyone's gone to this movie yet, so this will be a first. Where are you? You're in the clouds, and we are in a basement. You piece of shit.
Oh, tell me what that's from.
Goonies.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yo, Adrian, I did it. You piece of shit.
Oh man.
Did we do No One Puts Baby in a Corner yet? I don't think we did.
I dropped that one earlier.
Yeah, he did earlier.
Strike two.
All right. That's all right.
Let's see. I'll have what she's having.
Nice. That's a good one. All right. How about this one? This is classic. This is another movie I would have had no idea was in the 80s. Go ahead, make my day, you piece of shit. Which is Harry Callahan and Sudden Impact, played by Clint Eastwood, 1982. How do we lose Greg?
Looks like we did.
All right. Well.
All right. Well, it is what it is.
Hopefully he's back, you piece of shit. All right, Brett, to you.
All right. Have you ever considered piracy? You'd make a wonderful Dread Pirate Roberts. You piece of shit.
I was gonna say you gotta end it. It's like
I was drawing it out a little bit. Princess Bride.
I like it. All right, very good. Edgar?
All right, I'm gonna go back to the future here. What the hell's a gigawatt? You piece of shit.
Oh man. All right. This one's a movie I haven't seen in a long time, and I was so young I don't even really remember it, but I always remember like some of my older cousins cracking up at it. But the movie is Mommy Dearest in 1981, and she basically beat the shit out of her kid. She said, "No wire hangers, you piece of shit." Oh, man.
I think this one, in a weird way, kind of fits what we're saying, what we're doing here.
Okay.
Just a fly in the ointment, Hans. A monkey in the wrench. A pain in the ass. You piece of shit. Die Hard. Yeah. More Die Hard. Can never go wrong with Die Hard.
If Greg was here, he might drop a line from the Terminator. I'll be back. I think, Edgar, you already used that one, but
yeah,
had to drop that. Edgar, you're up.
Justin, you'll like this one.
Okay.
It's from Teen Wolf.
Oh, nice. I already like it.
I want a keg of beer. You piece of shit.
I love your voices, man. So
that was good. That was a good one.
Good. All right. I have so many written down. I gotta just check where I want to go. All right. Let's see. How about an inspirational one here from The Breakfast Club? Spend a little time trying to make something of yourself and a little less time trying to impress people, you piece of shit.
We're going back to Terminator because, Greg is in here. We just gotta keep pulling those out. Your clothes, give them to me now, you piece of shit.
Love it. Easy.
I don't know if it's a classic line, but I always like this line from Major League. It's my kind of team, Charlie. It's my kind of team. You piece of shit.
That's good. That's good. I mean, this one's about as easy as it gets. This is a softball, but who are you gonna call? You piece of shit. Ghostbusters.
There you go.
That's funny because I'm on Ghostbusters as well. Why worry? Each one of us is carrying an unlicensed nuclear accelerator on his back. You piece of shit.
I like it. Franklin, you're going next level. Next level. I love it. Edgar?
Oh man, now I'm hitting a lull.
Well, we'll try to go a couple more rounds through if you can get it. Let me just set you up. Just think of the movie Major League. How about that?
Yeah. Just a bit outside. You piece of shit.
Nice call, Harry Doyle. All right, back to me. I'm going to save the Major League ones for you then, Edgar, if you're struggling. So I'm going to go with Crocodile Dundee. You think that's a knife? That's not a knife. That's a knife. Shit.
I'm gonna go right over to some more Star Wars because I love them. We have powerful friends. You're going to regret this, you piece of shit.
Love it.
All right. You serious, Clark? You piece of shit.
Yeah, good. It doesn't have to be in depth. I love it. All right, how about this one? This was another movie I didn't know was in the 80s, but The Shining, 1980. Here's Johnny, you piece of shit.
Clark, Audrey's frozen from the waist down. You piece of shit.
She'll look later. Her eyelids are frozen shut. You piece of shit. Oh man.
All right. Hey, that's about a 9 on the attention scale. Hey, Rube.
Nice.
You piece of shit.
Love it. I was going that way next, Edgar. First, you got to do the truffle shuffle. You piece of shit. Corey Feldman, classic 80s actor right there.
I'm sticking with Christmas Vacation. Oh, he's just yakking on a bone. You piece of shit.
All right, wait. So what line was used from Grease already?
Oh boy. Just say it. Just say whatever you think. I can't even remember.
Better shape up. You piece.
Oh, so good. All right, I'm gonna go Pee-wee's Big Adventure here. I believe this was also in the 80s.
Ooh.
I know you are, but what am I? You piece of shit.
I know you are, but what am I?
Which, by the way, Franklin, we talked about that guy also on a cameo on Seinfeld as well.
Yeah.
Amongst other things.
Yeah, that's right. We did bring him up. All right. Hold on. You know what? I'm going to do this. I don't no, I think Ed did that one.
What?
Oh, no, I'm doing this one. We're going to Goonies. I'm going to hit you so hard, you piece of shit.
All right.
I think you said, hey, you guys, Ed.
Oh. Let's see here.
Edgar, you need some movies.
No. It's very bad. You steal JetBlue's rum. It's very bad. You piece of shit.
I'm gonna try to expand my universe here and go with Uncle Buck. And when
Ooh.
he's talking to the little kids, which one is Macaulay Culkin, and I think the other one's his sister, and he says, I have a friend who works at the crime lab at the police station. I could give him your toothbrush and he could run a test on it to see if you actually brushed your teeth or just ran your toothbrush under the faucet, you piece of shit. And then the kids proceed to go, we better start brushing our teeth. Love it.
You know what? I'm going to go right back there with you.
Okay.
You have much more hair on your nose than my dad, you piece of shit.
Edgar, I got one for you in a minute. So next one I have teed up for you. So
All right.
come on, you can do it.
Gotta go back in time, you piece of shit.
Now you're just quoting song lyrics.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a quote in the movie.
All right.
Hey, it's part of the.
I love it. It's okay. It's all right. All right, Edgar, this is a long quote, so this should give you a little bit of time to think of your next one. Well, I'll tell you what,
All right.
let's try to go 3 more rounds. You can come up with 3 more?
All right.
All right. Yeah, the reason I said 3 are this quote's from another one from Teen Wolf by their head basketball coach. He says, there are 3 rules that I live by. Never get less than 12 hours sleep. Never play cards with a guy with the same first name as a city, and never get involved with a woman with a tattoo of a dagger on her body. Now you stick to that, and everything else is cream cheese, you piece of shit.
Where was it? I had mine.
I know there's so many good ones.
Oh yeah, I mean, I just had it too. I just got to make sure. It looks like it may have reset. Damn it, the page reset.
Oh, it's all right. It's all right.
Let me go find it. Oh, what the hell? Don't send me to Pinterest. Nobody cares about Pinterest. There we go. Can I refill your eggnog for you? Get you something to eat? Drive you out to the middle of nowhere and leave you for dead? You piece of shit.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Edgar, you got anything?
Get up, son of a bitch, because Mickey loves you, you piece of shit.
Oh man, so good. All right, Edgar, I'm gonna just say 2 here because I know we're running a little short on quotes, but here you go, Sonny. A little something for the old sweet tooth, you piece of shit. That's once again, what's his name from the Burbs. And then earlier in the movie, he also says, really burns my ass, that old fart. He's got the best damn lawn on the block. And you know why? Because he trains his dog to crap in my yard, you piece of shit. Such a good movie. If you guys haven't seen Burbs, you
The
go.
Burbs is fantastic.
So good.
Yeah, the Burbs is just awesome.
It was like Tom Hanks before he got like super famous too.
Yeah.
And Princess Leia is his wife.
Yes. That's a big Twinkie, you piece of shit. Ghostbusters.
Nice.
Hey woman. I'm going to show you a real man. How about you come over to my place tonight and I'll show you a real man, you piece of shit.
Edgar, was that just a pickup line from the bar, or what movie is that from?
No, that's Mr. T from Rocky 3.
I thought maybe you'd use that in your past. I wasn't sure. Oh, that's good. That's good. All right, I'm gonna go with one more inspirational one here and close with a funny one. But here's my inspirational one. This is Gene Hackman from Hoosiers. If you put your effort and concentration into playing to your potential to be the very best you can be, I don't care what the scoreboard says. At the end of the game, in my book, we're going to be winners. You pieces of shit. Oh, man.
All right. I'm going. This is our last one.
Yeah,
Eh,
we'll save
we'll
this
see.
for the last round, and then if you want to throw a couple more, no one's gonna.
Well, I'm gonna go out with a bang on this one. Actually been looking for it for the last 15 minutes.
Okay.
And then Greg left, and it really threw my timing off. Kept getting back to me faster. So here we go. I want to look him straight in the eye and tell him what a cheap, lying, no good, rotten, floor flushing, low life, snake licking, dirt eating, inbred, overstuffed, ignorant, blood sucking, dog kissing, brainless, dickless, hopeless, heartless, fat ass, buck eyed, stiff legged, spotty lipped, worm headed sack of monkey shit he is. Hallelujah. Holy shit. Where's the Tylenol?
Well done.
Piece of shit.
Well done. That's a good one. Very good. Edgar, you go.
Trying to think of a quote from Ghostbusters 2.
Oh, okay.
But I can't think of it.
That's all right. You want to skip it? Well,
Yeah.
Brett and I can go off and do a few more, and you can chime in if you think of something.
All right. Go ahead.
So let's see. The last one I was going to end with, and my apologies if someone used this already, but life moves by pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it, you piece of shit. Once again, Ferris Bueller. Ferris Bueller, I would have to put in my top 20 movies of all time. Maybe top 10, but top 20 for sure.
Yeah, it's such a good. It's been on TV a lot lately. At least one of the channels I have. Yeah, it's been great. All right. Michael Jackson didn't come over to my house to use the bathroom. You piece of shit.
What? Tell me what that one's from.
Goonies.
Okay. That had to be Mouth.
Chunk. That was Chunk.
Oh, Chunk. Love it. All right. Ghostbusters. We came, we saw, we kicked its ass. You piece of shit.
That was a good. That's a good one.
I'm just trying to. I have a few more left on my list. I just want to get to a few of the classic ones. We don't have to get to all of them, but
yeah, I think.
Let me tee you up one. All right, so think of Major League when they're going through the list of guys they're inviting to spring training.
Okay. This guy here is dead. You piece of shit.
There you go. I love it.
Who do you think you are? Clint Eastwood? You piece of shit.
Yeah, I mean,
Was that 80s movie though?
That was Beverly Hills Cop.
yeah, that should be like 87.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you quoted Back to the Future 3.
Oh no.
Okay.
All right, let me go with just a few more of the classic ones that I got here on my list. You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
Oh yeah.
Christmas Story.
It's easy to forget that one just because of the time it takes place.
Yeah, it seems like it's like a 60s or 50s movie.
Yeah. I don't feel like Weird Science was repped enough.
So good. So good.
Yeah, it's so good.
I mean,
actually, to me, that's one of my favorite 80s movies easily. I don't think it gets enough credit.
I agree with you.
And the Wi-Fi just like kicked out on me for a second.
That's all right. Here, I'm gonna drop one here.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, this is about as classic as it gets for 80s and sports movies, especially. But if you build it, he will come. You piece of shit.
Mayor Goldie Wilson. I like the sound of that. You piece of shit.
Don't mess with the bull, young man. You'll get the horns. You piece of shit. We can just go rapid fire here. I mean,
Have you ever wondered how sad it is that your son's only sexual outlet is tossing off to magazines in the bathroom? You piece of shit.
tossing off.
that's what's quoted. Tossing off.
Oh my god, I love it. If I guess Edgar, if you can't think of quotes, you're not dying. You just can't think of anything good to do. You piece of shit. I don't know. I just got a few more here. Let's see. Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. You piece of shit. I would say I got to most of my list here.
Nice.
Carpe diem, boys. Seize the day. Make your lives extraordinary, which is John Keating and Dead Poets Society. You piece.
I think Greg said that one.
Did he say that one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me drop one more Caddyshack one, then I'll close mine out. There's a force in the universe that makes things happen, and all you have to do is get in touch with it. Stop thinking. Let things happen, and be the ball. Be the ball. Be the ball. You piece of shit. 1980, by the way, Caddyshack.
You know what? There's a good one here. I don't know if this is 80s or not, though.
Go for it. It'll be strike three if it's not. So we're closing out anyway.
What's the movie?
The movie is See No. Oh, it is 89.
Okay.
It works. All right. So you're the fat F who's running this show, you piece of shit.
I love it.
You know who's in that movie?
What's in that? What movie is that?
Richard Pryor.
Hmm.
And why am I drawing a blank on his name? But Willy Wonka. He plays Willy Wonka.
Oh, Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I haven't seen it forever, but I do remember that being like a funny movie.
We don't have a ton of these around, but strange things are afoot at the Circle K. You piece of shit. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
We didn't throw really any Bill and Ted's into this, did we?
That was the only one I could think of that we did. So I mean, I'll just close it with this.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys doing this, and you guys can be my wingman anytime. You piece of shit. Thanks for doing this. We'll talk.